I have a guest coming up. I hope this works. Let's see. I have an old friend coming up. We're going to have a conversation about some important stuff. But first, we're going to catch up with her. She's having trouble logging in. Who else do we have? We have Bushka. Hey, Bushka. Hey, Sniper. Having just a slight bit of technical issues. So I guess I will catch up. How's everyone doing? Bushka, how are you? Hold on, guys. She's having a hard time logging in. Hi, Kat. Sorry. Welcome to the membership, Neidy. You should not have to be a member, though, to do this. Neidy, if you go up in the description, you'll see a link. I don't know why the one that I sent you. Sorry, guys. Pushka says, I'm good, thanks. Every day above ground is good day. How are you doing, Yogi? I'm doing good, Pushka. I am doing good. We're having a bit of technical issues, which is always, I always feel bad saying technical issues, blaming the technology, when it's actually the technician's issue. But we'll get it figured out. Hey, Lady Sky. Lady Sky, how are you? Sorry, guys. We're figuring issues out. Guys, what do you know about being on a desktop and joining a live stream? Is it possible? I'm sorry, Lady Sky. Kat says YouTube is Yogi's job and membership support on the yogis. Sure does. Thank you. I can see. Neidy, I can see you. So, guys, our friend uh, Soulful Sojourners channel is here. This is my friend Neidy, and she is on her computer, but she can't get on with her with her phone. Do you guys know anything about? Is it possible to? Um, is it possible to do that on a desktop? Hey, Keith. I'm afraid this might not work. Hey, legendary princess. Say musky face. Musky face was timed out. Hey, Daniel. Danny, I thought I modded you up the last time you were in. All right. Soulful Sojourners. Why is that word so difficult all of a sudden? Is here. This is my friend Neidy. Neidy, how are you? Something's not working right. I don't know if it's we're not allowed to do it on desktop or a computer or only on mobile. If you scroll up in the description, let's try it this way. If you see that description box, there'll be in the description, there's a link that says to join the live. If you can click on that and let's see if that works. Hey, Cora, my friend, how are you? Becca, Bill, nice to see you both. Zipper says, shame, husky face. Try at least to be funny. Or even funny-ish. Cora says, I'm okay. Cora says, how are you, Yogi? I'm doing good, Cora. We have a guest that I hope will be able to make it, but we're running into some technical difficulties. How are the birds, Cora? Lady Sky says hi to Becca. Cora says YouTube can be hard. YouTube can be hard, can it? It can be a lot of fun. It can be very rewarding. So I'm waiting for a guest to come up. Cora says they're good. Hey, Toy Pups. Hey, Toy Pups, you might have an answer to this question. If you're on a computer, is going live reserved only for mobile phones, or can you do it on your computer? As my friend Neidy is having a difficult time signing in. She tried all the options. I always log in from my computer. Let's try one more thing. One more thing. Sorry, guys. I know this is not very exciting for you. So I might have to reschedule this live. I'll stay live. We'll continue what we normally do. But we're not having much luck bringing my friend up, sadly. All right. Gonna have to reschedule with my friend, guys. I apologize, Neidy. All right. Guys, a little embarrassing for me. My technical stuff sucks. It absolutely sucks. So who wants to come up and talk about a woman's call to action? Someone says, me and Becca are friends, so I'm taking her to a date. Guys, been hyping this up all day. Actually, for a couple days. Super Champ says, what's wrong, Master Yogi? I'm unable to bring my guest on. I had technical difficulties. I should have tested all different options, and it's not working out. Hey, Runner Boy, you home? Does a stress relaxation date sound cool? Yeah, it does. I think people need it, you know? Except it says the moon looks magical tonight. Super Champ says, what do you want to discuss, Master Yogi? Be honest, I'm going to need to recalibrate. I'm going to need a moment or two to get my head back into the game, readjust. So I don't know what we're going to discuss. Very disappointing in myself. Talk about facing difficulties. Thank you, Neidy. Well, we've all been there. Keith says, adapt, improvise, and overcome, Yogi. Thank you, Keith. You are a good friend, my friend. Sorry. I will get in the swing of things. Big Al says, is everything okay, Yogi? Yep. We had a guest coming up that I was very much looking forward to. And it didn't work out due to technician issues. Not technical, but technician, meaning me. And just disappointed, you know? Of course, there's no problem. Thanks, guys. You know we carry on like we always do. I just need a few moments to get my head in the game. Hey, Lee. Magnetic North is here. We got an excellent crowd tonight, too. All my favorite people are here. So my friend Neidy was going to come up. I've known her, we figured it out for about 25 years. Neidy, when did you first come on the Chopra site? For me, it was around 1999, 2000. So we're talking 25 to 26 years. Hey, Darren. Karen says you have a lot of wonderful things to share. Roll on, Yogi. Thank you, Keith. Soulful says, this is perfect, Eric. Disappointment is fuel. So Soulful Sojourners is my friend, Neidy. We met on the Chopra Forum, either 1999 or 2000. And we became a tight little group. Her, I, and a handful of other people, many of whom we're both still friends with. And it was a truly magical time. You know, things were new on the internet back at the time. So, and for me, making those kind of connections uh, was huge. I was fresh off of a decade of hardcore drinking with a purpose. And the purpose was to destroy myself, to literally blot out my existence with alcohol. A new existence sprung up. This seemingly fun loving, happy go lucky bar guy, always funny, always had a joke to share, always buying people drinks, always helping people. But it was definitely a facade because I was living very dangerously. You guys know the story. I've told it 100 times before. Then I had an epiphany. I had all the things in place to help me quit drinking. I was meditating, doing breath work, doing yoga. I had started studying A Course in Miracles, but I wasn't quite ready. I needed something a little more drastic to get my attention, and that was getting pulled over by an off-duty state trooper. As soon as I saw that light flash, I knew I was done drinking. I'm not going to go too far into detail. About a year after or so I quit drinking, I stumbled upon Deepak Chopra's website and forum, and it was a lifesaver for me because I met this wonderful group of people. I felt so inspired. My writing was taken off. I was sharing my writing on the Chopra page, and I met Neidy. We've been friends ever since. The other day, she called me her imaginary friend because we've never met face to face. Oh, let's see. Neidy downloaded YouTube on her phone, and she can see me. Can you click on the link above that I sent you and see if it allows you in now? Maybe it'll work after all. So Neidy had her spiritual practices. I had mine, as we all do. Mine was fairly similar. I was practicing the course, and I was meditating, and I was doing yoga. I was also doing some other stuff. I did a little stuff with magic stuff. Keith has a healing party live tomorrow at 12 noon. Awesome. I will do my best to look for you. Well, I will definitely look for you. So we're going to see what happens. Anyway, my practice matured a great deal. My yoga practice deepened, and my Course in Miracles practice deepened quite a bit. I made it through the workbook finally, and it took a bit. Hey, Missy. Thank you, Kat. Here we go, guys. Hey.
Hi.
Talk about perseverance.
Talk about the perfection of imperfection.
This is true. Guys, this is my friend Neidy. And I just gave you a very long introduction because and you actually deserve it. Our friend Kat says yay.
Yay, thank you.
So let's you and I go way back. 2000, 1999?
Around that time, I think I came on board on very early 2000 or December 99.
And what drew you to Deepak Chopra, the site, the page?
I honestly don't remember. I was coming fresh out of a 1 week long retreat in Hawaii, of all places, and I came back home feeling thirsty, absolutely thirsty for knowledge and for spirituality. And it was amazing because it somewhere I don't even remember where, honestly. I found a link to chopra.com and to the prayer circle specifically. Yeah.
That was our home. The
Oh,
prayer circle, guys,
okay.
the prayer circle was our home. That's where we together to share prayers with other people,
Mhm.
to help manifest a new reality for all of us. I don't want to go too far into um, our origin story, but I did mention manifestation, and you certainly manifested a life for yourself. Um,
I did.
so, what? Let's get started. What's the life that you manifested?
So I'm going to go a little bit into that story, into that origin story, because I think it's part of that process. I was born in Puerto Rico and I was raised there. So when we met, I was a fully formed adult, as I say, with my children. They were starting, I think one of them was starting college, if I remember correctly. And all I have known up until that moment was the life of a Puerto Rican girl, meaning I got married at 16. I had my first child when I was 18, the other one at 19, and by the time I was 23, I had my third and last child. So I had devoted all of my life, as I knew it, to other people in whatever capacity. But then at some point, when I turned 32, I finally divorced after 16 years. And I found my life opening in front of me. I didn't know a lot, but I knew a couple of things. I knew that I needed to get to know the person that was coming out of that life. I didn't want to make the same mistakes. And even with that level of consciousness that I had at that time, I knew that I wanted something more for myself and that I did not want to manifest the same experiences, the same type of men, and all of that good stuff.
What
So
was
by the
what was your education at that point?
high school and a little bit of college, honestly. So what I did with that information that I told you about right now was that I began asking, as I say, the right questions. What is it that I want to create for myself? What is it that is important for me? What are my priorities? And a couple of things came up. Number one, my kids, my family. And number two, education. Becoming the person that I knew I could become. And I had always been fond of reading and educating myself. So that was a no brainer. So by the time we met, I had made a decision to explore education. So in 2000, I ended up just resigning my job that I had at the time. I went back to college, finished the BA, and immediately after went into transpersonal psychology. And that led to moving to California. Eventually, I've been here for 21 years already.
Wow. I
Yeah,
remember you wanting to move to California.
I
I
know you have been there.
um, so it's amazing. Hey, Coca-Cola. Um, I'm glad you went back because the origin story tells everything. You just as
Mhm.
easily couldn't have happened.
Yes, yes. I at times I think, have you seen that movie Sliding Doors with Gwyneth Paltrow?
Uh-huh.
It's a super cute movie. It's silly in one way, but I like it a lot because a split second decision really made everything differently. Even everything different for me. I went back to California, not to California, to Hawaii in 2021. Not 2021, 2001. It's been a long time. Uh, and I had decided that either I would get into ITP, which was the school that I had selected, or I would keep on going and stay in Puerto Rico. And when I got back from Hawaii, I got a phone call from ITP with the acceptance and a letter with the acceptance. So that
Wow.
shifted everything for me.
Um, can we touch real quick on what was your beginning around that Chopra time? The spiritual practices that you had in place.
It was eclectic, and it has always been eclectic for me. But one of the most important things that I was doing was A Course in Miracles. I loved A Course in Miracles. I am a firm believer of that, and I believe honestly in that line from A Course in Miracles that says that a miracle is but a change in perception. And for me, that was the most important part that I got. So A Course in Miracles was really the center of everything that I was doing back then.
If I recall correctly, you were a big fan of Alan Cohen.
Oh, that I was coming from a one week seminar retreat with Alan Cohen.
I did not
That was
realize
where I was coming from.
I did not realize until recently that he was a long-term practitioner since the 1980s, early 80s of A Course in Miracles, and he's written several best-selling books talking about the course, and
Yeah.
he's a wonderful author.
And a super cool dude. I don't know if he's around still because it's been a while since the last time I checked him out, but I honestly think that he is one of the best authors and one of the best teachers out there.
I agree.
And low key, because he doesn't do a lot of press or anything. He always stayed low key, which was even better because you found him because you were meant to find him.
Right. Awesome. So does the Course in Miracles still play into your uh, thought process and practice now,
So,
2025?
say it again.
Does the Course in Miracles still play into your practice and thoughts now, 2025, 25 plus years later?
It does. It does. I think that once you study the course, it will always be with you one way or the next. I think that's the beauty of that space. Is a space that you can call back, and it's a learning and a teaching that you can call back every single time that you need it.
Hi, Adam. Switching topics just a little
Mhm,
bit. When I was talking about our chat, and I was talking about a woman's call to action. I was
mhm,
talking about what you said about authenticity, finding women finding their authentic selves, and
mhm.
I would mention that this is an important subject for men
It is.
because finding your a woman finding her authentic self benefits the world, benefits everyone. And if you have a woman in your life, and I certainly hope you do, um, that everyone does, one way or the other, in one form or another, uh,
Mhm.
this is something very important to support them with. Um, so, can we talk about, well, how did you get from that humble origin story to um, what you founded? Can you tell us what you founded, what you're doing now? Um,
Yeah. So I spent the first half of my career working in corporate America, as many people do. And then what brought me to California was the education in psychology, transpersonal psychology. So I stayed in behavioral health operations mainly. I am someone who doesn't like to sit with people for 100 years, repeating the same thing over and over again without taking action. So in 2022, I decided to listen to that inner voice and simply say yes to those little things and those messages that I had received in the past. And part of what came out of that exercise was that I really wanted to create my own company, and it's a coaching company. It's called Soulful Sojourners. And there's a story that I told you, I reminded you about yesterday, which is that Soulful Sojourners was a name that I had chosen for a blog. And I wanted people from all over the world to be a part of that blog at some point. And life became what it was. I really never took that name anywhere, but I kept the domain. And as I was meditating at the end of 2022, and asking the questions, as I say, asking the right questions, the name Soulful Sojourners LLC was given to me 3 times in meditation. I'm like, okay, I don't have to hear this anymore. So I went on, reserved the name, created and registered my company. And I've been working ever since with both women and men, but I work mainly with women. I work also mainly with women over 50 who are getting to that point in which their lives are transforming and they are looking for a way forward of how to create the next chapter in their life.
Um, so that's very fluid, right? You toning into what each individual woman might need, and working in a very fluid fashion to help them uh, reveal. I always think that we never give anyone something. That path to authenticity is theirs and theirs alone, and uh,
Yeah,
the job of a facilitator is sort of like David carving or Michelangelo carving David, just taking away the things that are unnecessary so the essence shows through. Is that a fair
I agree.
description of what you do?
It is absolutely correct. I am a firm believer that the client in this case carries the essence of what needs to be done. And they know, we all know what needs to be done. We just need someone to say, well, how about that? And it just happened with a client that I was working with a moment ago. She was talking about an ideal. And my job there was to say, hey, what you're talking about is not even related to what we have started to talk about. So my job wasn't to tell her that she was right, that she was wrong. My job was to invite her inner wisdom to come out and play and just be with us and be the voice that needed to be in the room because mine is not as important. The inner voice of the person, the wisdom is what matters. Sorry about
Um,
this.
it's okay. Can you explain a little bit about you're a transpersonal therapist?
I'm not.
No,
I'm sorry.
that's right.
I choked. I'm not. I am not a therapist. I don't practice psychology for many reasons, and one of them is that I prefer coaching. I prefer inviting people into action. And you know that psychology is about the archaeology of the process. It's going deep. It's looking for the reasons why we feel that we are broken. I don't know that we are, but the reasons why we feel that we're broken. And then coaching is a little bit different. Yes, we invite all of those parts. I'm so sorry, I just choked.
That's okay.
We invite all of those parts to play, but at the same time, we ask the person to focus on the here and now and the future. What is it that you want to create for your future without discounting the reality that you might have been hurt, that you might have an idea that you were broken at some point? It is we respect that part, and personally I prefer to work with the part of you that is ready for action. So one thing that I can tell you is that I can work with almost anybody, but the truth of the matter is that I favor working with people who might not know what they need to do, but they are ready to at least try.
I can't imagine anything more satisfying than someone, man or woman, particularly women though, in their 50s, 60s, who has spent their entire lives focusing on others. That's why I'm saying particularly women, um, and
Mm-hmm.
feels broken, without a direction, um, and seeing that spark light up from within that I can do something otherwise. This is not set in stone.
Yeah. And as women, we have been conditioned to live in a certain way, to say yes to things that we should have said no to a long time ago, right? And one of the things that for me has been crucial in working with women over 50, and I'll tell you later about how I work with them, what are the programs that are for these types of clients, but is that there is a loss that needs to be addressed and accepted. There is a part of us that has been liberated at some point, and we don't know it. We don't know that we are free. We don't know that when the kids leave the nest, we're free. We don't know that when we look at a job that is not satisfying, we can say thank you for your service and we can go elsewhere. And I make it sound easy. It's not easy. But the truth of the matter is that I love working with people who are ready to look at their lives and say, yeah, I'm in a different space right now. This part of my life serves its purpose. And I am going to look for whatever is out there, whatever it is. And then we create the strategy, right? Because sometimes we dive head first, and sometimes we need to create a strategy. And one of my intentions in the next few months and whatnot is to continue to listen to what's happening in the world and create offerings that speak to that, to being ready for whatever. If you're watching the news, you know that one day you went to work and they just ended your position on the spot, especially if you work for the federal government. So the whole idea is to get ready for that change before it happens. And if it never happens, fantastic. But if it does, you're ready.
Do you ever work with husbands to help them uh, realize their role as a part of a support system?
I offer, let me answer in two ways. I don't work with couples, it's not my cup of tea. I actually work with individuals, and yes, the relationship part of the journey is addressed, but I offer only 2 sessions per packet for family members, and it could potentially be the husband. But the client comes my way, the client who works with me, and that I'm working with her or with him, that's my primary focus. They have something to do with that relationship as well.
Do you ever find that one of the blocks that a woman might present you is um, I'm afraid of disappointing my husband, or I'm afraid of the change that it might make in my relationship if I move in this direction? That by reclaiming my dreams, reclaiming my authenticity, that maybe I'll lose. I guess.
Yes.
Sorry,
Yeah,
fear.
yeah. The short answer is yes. The longer answer is what if is the devil's mantra, right? And my question, although I will never ask it in this way in reality, but it's the intent, is what is more important for you? To continue to live in a way that doesn't fit who you are as a human being, or to be authentic and see if this person that who has been with you for the longest time can meet you where you are today. Chances are that person is hoping for that change for you.
Right. Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Reminds.
sometimes we don't know what we don't know, right?
So I would say, at large part of what you do is help people navigate fear, navigate through fear.
Is dance with fear in a way that it invites the fear to show up, invites the fear to show its face and to tell you what is it that it brings to the forefront. Because fear, if we look at it head on, is a gift. It's an absolute gift. It is information. So the moment we understand what is it that we are afraid of, is the moment that we can also start that dance. And as I have said before, thank fear for its service and say, see you around. I'm moving in the direction of my dreams, or the direction of this goal, of the direction of a relationship with myself first, because that's the first relationship I have, right? When
Right.
I look at myself in the mirror and I say, okay, I see you, I accept you. Yes, you suck at some points, at some things, but you are valuable enough for me to sit with you and to walk by your side and inform you of what's happening. That's the moment when we can see change happening, right?
I'm smiling because you just did that in the chat when you said, take your disappointment and use it as fuel and keep going and make something out of this live stream. You you were on the job.
What can I say?
What can I say? I feel like
What
I
can
need to
I
write
say?
you a check. You were on the job. Um, but my recollections of you through the years is you've always been on the job. You've always
Oh,
you said yesterday that I was like your invisible friend. Uh, that we been you've reached out to me. I don't know if you remember when my puppies died.
yeah.
Um, and you reached out to me when my father died. You reached out to me at
Mhm.
my divorce. You reached out to me. I'm naming all the bad stuff. You reached out to me for some good stuff too.
Mhm.
But you've been a steady presence, and I just remember you on that prayer circle, being willing and open to accept everyone, to pray for them, and give your best at every opportunity. So it's no surprise for me to see what you're doing now. It seems like a continuation.
It is, and let me react to what you just said. You reached out to me when my puppy died, and then when my other puppy died, and then when my cat died. And no, but also in the good moments, we have been supporting each other one way or the next through 25 years. And I think this is the first one that we are actually on camera looking at each other, right?
Yep, we
Oh my
did.
God.
This was back in the days, instant messaging. When you
Yeah.
downloaded the instant message chat, and we would do that. And I remember we did a couple group meditations together.
Hmm.
Um, and it might have been we might have communicated over the phone back then in that group meditation. But yeah, this is the first time face to face, and it
Yeah,
feels
that's true.
amazingly natural.
It is.
I'm talking to an old and dear friend, a friend,
I'm going to
percolated
say
fish.
something. Stop calling me your old friend.
um, there is a better way of phrasing that. It'll come to me.
Oh, dude.
Um, a friend, Adam, percolated fish, says, "I'm still driving, but I want to say how impressed I am with the therapy methods because he says he's very skeptical of CBT and other things." Um,
Oh, so may I respond?
yep.
There are so many types of therapy and approaches to behavioral health. And I call it behavioral health because it runs the whole gamut, right? And I will say that every single modality, every single theory can be used by different people. It doesn't, and for different people, it doesn't work for everybody. I myself, I am a fan of CBT. And I'll tell you that the reason why I am a fan of CBT is because it allows you to name what is, look at your behavior or look at your programming, the paradigms that you operate under, and they allow you to also just again say thank you for your service to some of your behaviors and transmute them, transform them. I know that it won't work with everybody. That's why we have a whole toolbox to come in and work with different people in different ways.
Um, does any um, traditional therapeutic methods fit in to your toolbox?
They do. I will tell you this. I use a little bit of CBT, although I am not doing therapy, and let me say that out loud one more time. Coaching is not therapy, but my methodology employs um, hierarchy of needs. That's one. Positive psychology as a whole. Logotherapy or the meaning,
Right.
Franco. Also, CBT, definitely, DBT as well. So there is a lot that is at our service. And I have been working also for the longest time in my career in environments where there are co-occurring conditions, meaning that clients come our way with both a mental health diagnosis and a substance use diagnosis as well. And those are very interesting conditions that when we are able to approach them holistically, you can find a way through. And one thing that I will say now that I mentioned holistically is that that's the key. Every single person will bring uh, their own history, their own way of being in the world, their own ideas, their own trauma, their own experience. And with that, they invite the different possibilities, the different dynamics, the different approaches to come in and play.
Our friend Lover Toy Pups asked, "What is CBT?" Could you give a brief?
CBT is cognitive behavioral therapy. That's the short answer. And what that is that is what I was saying a moment ago, is a modality that invites you to look at your patterns, look at your thoughts, look at the way you see the world, and it allows you to challenge the things that are not necessarily true, that you have been convinced they are true about you because of society, because of upbringing, because of the way you see the world, and it allows you to find an alternative.
Toy Pup says, "Thank you so much."
Oh, you're very
Guys,
welcome.
feel free to ask any questions. Right, you're willing to answer any questions that come up.
Sure.
Um, could you do maybe an imaginary quick walkthrough if a woman came to you and, well, if you could do a typical, I know there's no such thing as typical, but if you
So,
were to, like, for sake of an easy description, someone came in to see you. Uh, you said specifically your preference is to work with women in their 50s, 60s. Um, and what would you do? What would you do, one, to find out exactly what they might need? A lot of times people might see you with a vague sense something's not working, but I don't know
mhm,
what to do.
mhm.
So how do you pinpoint?
So let me just say a couple of things. I do work with women under 50 as well. In fact, most of my individual clients are under 50. But I can tell you this: people come my way by word of mouth. That is one of the most important things that I can say. And when they come my way, it is because someone else in their lives has helped them see that something is not working out. And it can be anything. It can be women who are looking. I have a client. Let me give you a couple of examples. I have a client with whom I have been working for 2 years now, and when she came my way, she came my way because something was going really poorly in her life, in her relationship. And although I do not work with uh, couples and I don't go into the relationship realm very much, this person was able to give me enough for me to say, okay, I'm going to take you right now and I'm going to work with you. So one of the first things that happens is that I do an intake. I have an intake form that people will fill out that will give me an opportunity to see more or less where they are in different areas. Then I do a couple of sessions every single time that are exploratory. I want to get to know what in that intake is true to the client, or and what is it that they might not have said because they don't know me yet. And then we start working. We just work with what is present in the room. There is always a session focus. Whatever that session focus might be is different every single time. And what that does for me and for the client is that it allows me to then create a, an action plan, not a treatment plan, because again, not psychology, but an action plan. And what we do is that we set some goals. The goals might be absolutely clear to the client, and some others just don't know exactly what they want. They want to feel better, and we work with what that means for every single person every single time. Going back to the client that I began talking about, she came my way because of her relationship, and out of the blue, a couple of months later, she said, you know what I really want to do is build my company, my baking company. I'm like, out of the blue. Okay. And long story short, we have been working for a while, and she is one of the most recognized bakers in her area. And it has been not because of what I do, but because she has taken every single one of the insights that we have gotten in our practice and our sessions, and she takes action every single time. So, and the same goes for, I have another client who is a chemist. She's a she has a PhD in chemistry, and her goal from the very beginning was visibility. She wants to gain visibility in her work, in her area of growth, in her area of work. And just last week, she was mentioning that she sent an email and it got a global response, very positive global response. If that's not visibility for you in her field, I don't know what is. So slowly but steadily, we work to sift through whatever is present in people's minds, and then we turn those things and those thoughts, those wishes into teeny tiny action steps.
Um, was this a process that you sort of came to intuitively?
There's a combination of how many years of many years of education, and also intuitively. There is something to be said about intuition. There are times in which a client is speaking and I am seeing, and I'll give you an example. A client was speaking a few months ago, and all I could see was a map from the standpoint of a satellite. I'm like, what in the world? What does this mean? So I conveyed to the client, you know what, I'm seeing kind of a satellite view of a terrain, and it made perfect sense for her. She needed, I won't go into the detail of what it meant for her, but she was able to make sense of what I was seeing. I call it educated intuition.
Nice.
It's much more than intuition. It's educated intuition. It's many years of research, many years of experience working directly with clients. Even though I was in the operations side of the businesses that I worked for and the agencies, I was always in contact with clients and training my team to be better at what they did in direct services as well.
Um, so I like the fact that it sounds like you take that the raw
Mhm.
intuitiveness and going to that metaphorical toolbox that you mentioned. You're able to
Mhm.
take that intuition to the toolbox and select the right tool for the job.
Every single time. I want to tell you this. There's an analogy that I can make. During the pandemic, changed everybody. It changed me in so many different ways. Not the pandemic itself, but the shutdown. And being the person that I am always busy, I could find myself with 6.5 hours a day that I didn't even know what to do with. And the one thing that I did, I seriously tried to bake bread as everybody else, but I failed miserably. So I went into my garage and I created a workshop, a woodworking workshop. So the toolbox is real for me in that way as well. I began trying different tools, and slowly but steadily, I began understanding which tools were necessary, important, crucial for the work that I wanted to do, and which ones were good to have, that were there, that I could use at different times. And I could say I have them for when they are necessary. And I think that in coaching, in therapy, wherever we're working with individuals, that is a really good way to see your toolbox is okay, everything that I have done in my life is here, personal and professional, educational, academic, life experience. And now, the only thing that matters is the client that I have in front of me.
So you put it all in the toolbox, all of it, your
It's all there.
experiences. Hey, Adam had said, Adam was percolated fish. He says, I feel better. I feel I have a better understanding of CBT, And I guess when you were discussing your methods, I couldn't define one clear method. When I say skeptical, I have noticed a lot of narrow lenses in mental in his own. So, and Toy Pup says she agreed. Says better view of CBT now. Our friend Scroll Sniper wanted to know: Do our beliefs outweigh disbeliefs in a dualistic realm? So, in our
Oh
dualistic,
wow. Oh wow. Uh, Unchecked, yes. In my experience, unchecked, yes. I think the work of every human being, not only of a practitioner of any kind, is to really check our beliefs, whatever those beliefs are. I'm going to take this in a slightly different route. Right now, if you're looking at the news, and if you're at your algorithm, the algorithm is going to pick up what you look at the most. So you're going to get side, just one side of whatever it is. And as you continue to open yourself to understand the other side, to understand other people's ideas, to read the news that apply to your way of being in the world, and also the news that you despise, and I can be there anytime, I can say that we are able to check our beliefs and also suspend belief for a moment and invite a new knowledge, even if at the end of the day you say I was absolutely right, this was what I thought was important and what I thought mattered and what I thought needed to happen or be. It's always important to check both sides. And that's at least my experience across the board.
I like that because we often don't examine our beliefs, thinking that they work for us. Why, if they're working for us, why examine them? But they might not be working for us. They might be holding us back considerably.
More often than more often than not. I love something that Neil deGrasse Tyson says. He says that we know enough of things, of something, to know when we're right, but we don't know enough to know when we're wrong. I love that. I heard that for the first time a while ago, and I went like, wow, yes, that makes sense to me.
Um, you never know where you're gonna get those little pearls of wisdoms dropping into our lap. Because it reminds me what you were saying right before that. Um, I don't follow a lot of Anthony Robbins, but he did say something once that has stuck with me for years. The quality of your life depends upon the quality of your questions. Uh,
Definitely.
so, what questions are we asking ourselves? Are we asking the right questions? And do we even question when you're faced with these women who come see you, who have all these limited beliefs, or they have disbeliefs that they can accomplish anything? They've never even
Mhm.
questioned them before.
Yeah, I work with women who are starting to look at what's next for their lives, whatever that is. And my surprise, and I can tell you, I have a mastermind alliance, and I will be on the 15th. I will be the presenter, so I will leave you with all the information. And we're going to be talking about befriending your inner critic, befriending that voice within that is always criticizing us. But one thing I will say is that most of the women that I work with, the ones who are part of STEAM, of the Spirited Entrepreneurs Empowerment Network, are women who, from the very beginning, said, "This is what I would like to see in my life. This is the experience I have. These are the tools I have accrued over time. My nest is empty right now, and I don't know what to do with the gifts that I know I have. I don't know how to put them in order to make sense of them." So the job is exactly that, is helping them look at all of their gifts, look at all of the areas where they can be strong, the areas of growth as well, and find a path and find a project, nurture a project that they might have. And it is so interesting. We have women who are working on their very first company at the age of 65. I actually registered my company the day after I turned 60.
If you were, if you could give something helpful to people who might not right now be in a position to have such a coach, if you were going to give a little lifeline, if someone was literally floundering in water, uh, maybe even feel like they're drowning, if you could throw them a lifeline right now, what would you be able to pull out of your toolbox and offer it to them?
So practical is this. I understand that not everybody can pay the fee of a coach, and every coach out there, myself included, has things that they offer free of charge. I was talking about Seeing Life and the presentation on the 15th. That is a monthly for women. This one is for women. That is a monthly meeting that we have, and we talk about everything from women and finances to birthing your soul book to sound bath. We did a sound bath in our last session. I am going to be talking about befriending your inner critic. Someone else is coming in October to talk about wealth as legacy. So these are things that you can just go into different people's websites and check out what they are offering, because more often than not there is something that they're offering free that you can take advantage of. The
I've,
other thing I do that I love, this one I really love doing, is that the second Friday of every month, I have a 1 hour where I meet with people. You can go to my website to the events link, events page there, and you can find Living Imprints. It's a 1 hour community gathering. We talk about legacy and impact, but legacy from the standpoint of the decisions that we make today and how they affect the outcomes of the future. So it is a super cool, and that's a little program that I have. It's a self-paced program. This one, I'm going to plug it in, is only $89, and you can have a 12-week engagement with the program. And as I was saying, there are many others out there who present, and every one of the presenters in my series actually leaves you with some tools as well. So there are options out there for everybody. The other thing that I want to say for those watching is that if you go to my website, there is a button on the top of the header, on the right hand side of the screen, where you can go in, take a quiz, and it will give you your report, your readiness report, but also a free tool as well. All of it is free. So those are things that you can start looking into and see if there is anything that you can get out of those offerings.
do you train coaches?
I don't. I I actually how do you say that? Support them. I support coaches. Most of the people in my group are coaches, and that's one of the reasons why we do these lives and why do we do these free offerings, because most of them are looking for tools as well. So, but I can put you in contact with someone who actually trains coaches.
Um, all right. I'm not sure how you're going to take this. Is there, what's the
If you call
possibility?
me old, wait, if you call me old again,
It's never gonna happen again. What
this
are the
good friend of
odds?
mine, go ahead.
What are the odds of a book from you?
It's in the making.
I'm not surprised.
It's, it's in the making. I'm working with actually coaches. You know, we offer support to one another. So I'm working with a fantastic writing coach right now.
Um, Honestly, it's a matter of time. I Let's see. I just got an awesome compliment from Percolated Fish. Says he's starting to think Yogi and Johnny Carson are the same person. Um, you are part of a new direction for me and my channel.
Oh,
And I made a short list of people that I wanted to reach out to, that I wanted to steer in that direction. There's a wonderful line, a wonderful prayer on the Course of Miracles. I am here only to be truly helpful. And
amen.
that's what I started my channel with. And for a little bit, I sort of felt like maybe I was heading away from that direction a little bit. And I started thinking of ways of heading back there. And I made a short list of people I wanted to reach out to that I thought could come up and share anything they wanted to share, and it would make a huge difference. And you were top 3 people that I immediately reached out to. And your enthusiasm, yes, what do you need? When should I be there? Overwhelmed me. But it doesn't surprise me at the same time.
Thank you. I think that that's what we're here for, right? Helping one another, making sure that our message goes as far as it can go. And you and I, again, I will always say this: we have been friends for such a long time, and the kind of friendship that actually matters is not by proximity, is not by anything, but energy, and understanding that we mean well, that we have always meant well for one another. I think that's important. And the more we go, the more we talk, the more we can help one another, the better. Further in the message.
Guys, you have any questions? And I agree, absolutely. I didn't say that nice stuff just because I'm expecting to get a free copy of your book. I want you to know. If I happen to get a free copy of the book, I'm perfectly happy.
You will get a free copy of the book.
You know what? Some of the earliest writing, all I've ever wanted to be was a writer, and I never knew what I wanted to write about. And I took the route of that suffering artist. You don't know what you write about in writer's block, so you drink, thinking that the struggling artist is that romantic. Of course, the more you drink, the less inspired you're ever going to be. When drinking left my life, very magically, my writing took off, and I just started sharing it. Different places. Chopra was a big one. You were such an early supporter of all of my writing, and it was definitely that friendship and the love you gave was fuel for me to continue writing every single day without missing a day. Since if you come away from anything in this conversation, you're going to think Eric might be a little on the anal retentive side. He does things every single day without ever missing a day. I told you I go live every day.
I can only tell you, my friend, that you're in good company.
I appreciate hearing that. Let's see if you have any questions, guys. Let's see. Well, our friend Mint to the whole chat says, "How is everyone doing this evening?" So let me ask you that. How are you doing? How are you doing? You?
Me, I'm doing great, actually. I am home. I'm working from home, as you know, and I work in the way that I envisioned my whole life, with the dogs around me. They're in a room right now because they are going to bark, but they are usually around me, and that's all I wanted throughout my existence, honestly. Aside from that, I'm doing what I love. I am working with both men and women who are fantastic. That sometimes I joke and say, I will be able to say in a few years that I know you. You need to know that and take that. And for me, that's a gift. Being a witness, have a front row seat to people's lives, that's fabulous. And being able to be a part of that journey, and being able to at times say you're full of shit, but let's keep on talking. Let's keep on going. Let's see where this conversation takes us. And understanding that is people are fabulous across the board. And we don't see that when we watch the news, right? So
Sure.
that makes me feel much better when I see people who are genuinely good human beings trying to do the best they can, hands down.
Uh, Adam has another question for you.
Yep,
But before I read his question, how many dogs?
four,
Four. Awesome.
four
I'm
and a
just saying,
cat, and three of them are pretty big.
did we top off at four, or is there always room for
Uh,
five?
well, we have a cat, so that's the fifth one. I am getting older, so and they live forever, as you know. They live long, 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 very good lives. So right now I'm there, and they are Puerto Ricans. We live in California, but they were born in Puerto Rico,
Oh,
all
well,
except for one. Yeah.
hey, does your cat think that he or she is a dog?
No, she thinks that she's the boss, and she
Uh,
is the boss.
is she?
You
I
should
got.
see a 90-pound German Shepherd running for his life when she goes after him. Yeah.
I have two adopted cats that wander the house. One is here, uh, basically trying to get my attention, and yeah, they definitely run the house. Adam says he feels a lack of drive to do anything. Any suggestions?
Wait. Say that again.
Um, he says, I feel a lack of drive to do anything. Any suggestions?
Oh, all right.
It's a big one.
That's a big one. I'm going to do one better for you, Adam. I'm going to leave you my contact information with Eric. Is that okay, Eric?
Sure.
And I'll talk with you privately so that we can explore these a little further.
Wow.
But the first thing you did was to say out loud that you have a lack of motivation, if I can call it that in my own words. That's a big one. That's your first step. And a step in any direction, as they say, is a step in the right direction. And I would love, love, love to work with you for a little while.
Didn't Einstein say nothing changes until something moves?
That's a simple.
So you ask that question, you've caused some
You
movement.
moved on. You got a freebie.
Yeah. That's pretty impressive.
Yep. You
Um,
see, that's motivation right there.
it is. I'm glad that you said that because when you think, um, feel lack of drive, I don't feel motivated. What can I do? What can I do is motivation. You realize you're stuck, and now you want a plan. You reach out for help. It's huge. Thank you for saying that, Neidy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And uh, Adam, thank you for asking that.
Yeah. And Adam, please connect with Eric, if you have a way to connect, and I will make good on my word.
Sniper says, um, the field meets you halfway. You need to take that step.
Hmm. Yep. It's up to
Um,
you to take the step. Yeah.
let's see. I think that might be it for some questions. Our friend UK Medic, hey Medic, says, knowing I may not wake up tomorrow motivates me to do stuff.
Yes. Yes.
And
How do you want to leave this planet? I have always said this. We are all leaving the planet. One way or the next, we have a ticket out already purchased, right? Um, the important thing for me is to be able to say, I lived a good life. I was a decent person. I took advantage of the opportunities that were presented to me across time. And I took the ones that really mattered.
hey, this might sound like a simplistic question. How important is it for you to be a decent person? Just kind.
Ooh. I think it's the most important part of being human, especially in this moment. I have a very clear idea of how people should be treated and how I should be treated. So for me, empathy, compassion, kindness, and also transparency and truthfulness are huge values that I live by. Not always perfect, not always the way I want to be. I know that as a human being. Come on. But that's pretty important.
Um, my own spiritual path has, I still meditate, I do my yoga, I do breath work, um, but it has simplified to I just want to be kind.
It's as simple as that, you know. I love that song. Well, this piece of the song from Pocahontas. When you walk the footsteps of a stranger, you learn things you never knew you never knew. I love that. That is the only thing from Pocahontas that I remember. I don't remember the movie, but I remember that line because I think it's important to walk the footsteps of a stranger from time to time.
Um, I forget who is attributed to. Um, I know Kenneth Wapnick wrote a short little book using it as a title. Um, be kind to everyone because everyone's fighting a hard battle. We never know. We make the assumption that, uh, someone else is doing this to us, or they're out to get us, or they're a bad person, or whatever. But it's a story that we tell. We
Hmm.
don't know what they're fighting. We don't know their battle. Uh,
Hmm.
so without that assumption, we open our hearts to everyone. It doesn't mean that we allow people to hurt us or trample on us, or it doesn't mean that we don't have boundaries. We can have an open heart and still set those boundaries, still protect ourselves.
Hmm.
Uh, and go ahead.
No, at the center of my work, I can say that fierce self responsibility is the first thing necessary to work with me. And it's not still, self responsibility, like saying, oh, my bad, but actually accepting responsibility. I was talking with a client the other day, and she mentioned that her 6-year-old was waking up in the morning saying, life is so hard. First, I wanted to know where he heard that life is hard. But one of the conversations we had was that it is your responsibility as his mother to help him understand that life is hard because of the options and the choices that we make. Our life and his life is not going to be hard because someone else is gay or Latino or an immigrant or Muslim. No, our lives are going to be as hard as we want them to be because of the choices we make today. And that's one of the things that why I say yes. Let's work with whatever you feel and whatever you know is there, but assume brutal, fierce self responsibility for your creations.
Um, I think that's a beautiful way for us to wrap things up tonight.
Yes.
Um, I'm usually good for about an hour and a half live streaming, um, and I go to bed really early at night because I'm up at about 2:30 to do my meditation and all that other stuff. Um, but I can't tell you how important it was for me to have you here.
Thank
And
you. Thank you for keeping on trying to get me into. You guys don't know how many links he sent and how many times we tried. I finally went like, okay, I'm going to download this thing and see what happens. I am off of social media most of the time. I only go post for my company here and there, but I am not on social media, so I'm not as as versed on how to get
right,
on. And I usually get on through my computer. I don't know what happened here.
it's always the last solution that works.
It worked.
Yep. So we keep trying. And again, the fact that you were coaching me in the live stream just impresses me so much. Because you help me turn things around. Don't be don't be disappointed. Don't be discouraged. Take that energy and make the best live stream. Uh, you're a coach through and through. You
Make
were
a
born to
choice,
help
man.
people.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you, everybody who stayed so patiently and waited for us to sort this out. Really, thank you.
You'll drop some links in the chat.
Say that again?
Can you drop some links in the chat for people who might want to reach out to you? I have them in the description.
So go to the description, please, and forgive me for saying it this way. I am on my phone right now. If we were on my computer, it would be very quick. It's going to take a little longer. But one thing that I will say, please join me on Friday. I would love to have all of you on Friday. Friday at 1. I'm sorry, at 11 a.m. Pacific time. You can find that on my website. And Eric, I know you're going to share that. And also for women in the group, doesn't matter if you are an entrepreneur or not, join me on Monday and let's have a little fun on the 15th. Yeah.
And there are people here who are connected with me via Messenger, on Facebook Messenger, and over here, people that I've reached out and I converse with. If you want that information from, I'm happy to send it to you. If you want the link for Friday's event, I'm happy to send it to you personally. Just let me know. Yeah, and I have your website and I have your event in the description. So guys, you can just go, you can click on the link, it'll take you right there. Everything you need to know. And I highly recommend it. I highly recommend that you hire my friend. Note that I said my friend. Note that I didn't say I didn't add any adjective to it whatsoever. I can tell you just from having her as a friend, the difference it's made in my life. The opportunity to reach out and connect with her as a coach is invaluable. I hope you take advantage of that, especially if you find yourself struggling right now. We all need a coach sometimes.
Yep, we all do. I work with two coaches myself because of that. We need some help. One thing to know is that I would love to meet all of you at any point, but please take advantage of those freebies. They are out there. They're for you. Take the readiness report, the Sojourn readiness diagnostic. Get your report, get your freebie, and see what comes out of that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so
You,
much.
Eric. Oh my God, it's such a pleasure to see you. Honestly, thank you.
You're welcome. And anytime you have something that you want to announce, feel free to use this as a platform for your services. Anything at all. And once it was a year or so ago, maybe a little bit longer, there was a dog that needed a home, but I was unable to.
I don't remember exactly which. Oh, I remember. He was adopted. Yeah.
Good. But if anything like that comes up, again, think of this as a platform for you to use for whatever means you need. I'm here for you.
I will be happy to come back. Again, thank you, everybody. I really appreciate your patience earlier as well.
Neidy, I love you, my friend.
I love you. Good care. Take good care.
You too.
Bye, everybody.
You got it's a little
I did.
little X. I have a difficult time too.
Yep.
There we go. All right. Here we are. We're going to wrap things up too. Rosie, are you still with us? If Rosie's here, we're going to do some breath work and go to bed. If Rosie's not here, we're going to go to bed. Toy Pup says, please send me a link. I will, Toy Pups. Remind me tomorrow. Unless I remember to do it tonight. I'm going to do my best to remind you tonight. I think you'd really appreciate this, Toy Pups. Seppa says, what a wonderful live stream. Thank you. You know what else is going to be a wonderful live stream? Tomorrow night. You know, you've seen Sniper come up, and we've had a great conversation. This is going to be a little different. Squirrel Sniper is coming up. He's got a presentation that he has worked hard on. He is going to talk about something that he loves very much, and that is the history of dowsing. You guys are definitely going to be there for that. Wednesday, our own Lisi is going to come up and share her story. Be prepared. She gives hints. She lets me know these little things. Makes you wonder. I quoted E. Cummings about the difficulties of doing your best to be the person that you are, your authentic self, in a world that wants you to be anything but that. Imagine knowing who you truly are at a young age, but an entire world, not only a world, but loved ones, family, telling you, no, you're not. You are not that person you think you are. But imagine still finding a way to be that person. Kat says, thank you. It was a wonderful live stream. Thank you so much, guys. Friday, I got my friend Randy Creel, who is a sandal wearing 100-mile ultra runner. Him and I have been in 100-mile races together. Hey, Dan. And he's going to tell you how he used a cancer diagnosis and ultra running as his spiritual path of healing. And he did heal himself of cancer. Changed his diet, changed his lifestyle. He was overweight. He's a machine now. He's 63 years old, still running 100-mile races. And Saturday, Goga, the legendary Goga himself, is coming up to talk about yoga as a path through grief. Any other suggestions? Joe, let me know. Joanna says, Yogi, for next time, what is your opinion on key lines? You know what? I'm going to see when Sniper does. Joanna, can you come by tomorrow? Tomorrow evening, 5:25, when Sniper does. He's going to stop and do some question and answers in his presentation. Dowsing and key lines is right up his alley. Joanna, thank you so much, my friend. Some awesome people got memberships too. Joanna, thank you so much. It's truly a wonderful gift. Adam wants me to send a link to him. I certainly will. Hey, Adam, make sure that you mention to Neidy that it was you that she offered that to. I'm excited. Joanna, thank you so much. Truly, truly kind act. Richard says, thank you, kindness. Thank you for your kindness, Joanna. You're amazing. Carl says, I won't be around. What's going on, Carl? Let me bring up Carl's channel real quick. I'm going to make sure that he is well above his 50 mark. He is. He's at 55 subs. I see your train video. Hey, Carl, thanks for letting me know that you had that train video up. Very much appreciated, my friends. Guys, thank you for your patience that I was, normally I try to be very involved in the chat. Today, I was unable, and when I do with the guests, I'm going to be unable to participate as much as possible, as much as I like, I should say, but I will. Um, you know, I'm always there for you guys. Carl says you'll put me down. Would never put you down, Carl. Carl, we love you too much to ever put you down. And I'll tell you another thing. Sniper, as the top mod, has full position to time out anyone that would ever put you down. It is one couple places I think you're always going to be protected in, Carl. We will always do our best to protect you here. I know Kat would always do everything that she could to protect you. I know Maddie would do everything he could to protect you. I can promise you that. Richard says, Carl, you are loved and you are part of our family and we're sick by one another. Absolutely. Rosie's back. Rosie's here. All right, we're going to close up with some breath work. Kat says it all worked out beautifully, Yogi. Thank you, Kat. Kat, thank you for having faith. Thank you for having faith and telling me to just keep going. You, Super Champ. Toy Pups, of course. Man, just having you guys in my corner. All right, Rosie. How do you feel? Sampa says that would never happen in here, Carl. In here, Carl? I'm sorry. If something slipped by, I very much apologize. I really, really deeply appreciate you being here, Carl. Rosie says, I'm good besides my chest, it hurts. All right, we don't want to do any strenuous breath work. We wanted to keep it nice and easy. So, Rosie, what we're going to do is breathe in for 4, exhale for 6. We're going to exhale through the mouth for 6 with that whoosh. How does that sound? Carl says goodbye. Goodbye, my friend Carl. Stephanie says, take care, Carl. Get a thumbs up from Rosie. So, guys, we're going to do some breath work. Then we're going to call it a night. Thank you again, guys. Adam says he saw a menacing squirrel on the drive home, and it made me think of Squirrel Sniper. You know how you can tell they're menacing? When they shake that tiny little fist at you. And then they give that look. You know they're looking right at you. Rosie knows what I'm talking about. All right. This is helpful, guys. If you want to close your eyes, you don't have to, though. It does help you sink into that relaxation just a bit more. So if you want, close your eyes. Let's take one conscious breath in through the nose and just sigh. Shake your shoulders out, shake your arms out, maybe rock back and forth. And as you're rocking, we settle back in and everything's relaxed. We're going to do at least 8 rounds of breathing in through the nose for a count of 4. Nice and slow, nice and easy. And exhaling through the mouth, pursed lips, tongue on the roof of the mouth, making that whoosh. You really want to hear yourself say whoosh. That's how it goes. We're going to start on a count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Breathing in through the nose for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale with that whoosh for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In through the nose for 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoosh for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In through the nose for 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoosh for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale with that whoosh for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In for 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoosh for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Last breath in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And let the breath settle. Let it find its own rhythm. Stay in this relaxing place that you created just for a minute or two. Just for a moment or two. And when you're ready, open your eyes. See you in the chat. We'll get ready and say goodnight. Yep. My cap's got something to say. So once again, guys, it's a big week. We're going to have some really, you're welcome, Rosie, some really interesting people. It started at 1 with Miss Blipper. We had my friend Neidy up tonight. We're just going to keep on rolling through the week. These are all very important people to me. My last message. I know I have these 14-minute goodbyes. I'm going to try to keep this one under 14 minutes. So these are very important people for me. Last week we had quite a few people come up and we talked about their sobriety as well as the path to recovery that they're on. We're not going to limit it to that though. Everyone has a story. What have you been through? What have you learned? What do you want to share? Let me know. You can reach out to me on Messenger. You can send me an email. Do you want to come up? An hour conversation? Is there something you want to talk about? Is there something that you're working on? Some big project that you're passionate about that you want to share, that you want to talk about? Let's make this channel something for you. How about that? If we can do that, you know what? I would most definitely view myself as a success. So, guys, I love you all. Mint says, Yogi, since doing these breathing exercises, I feel less pressure on my chest, and I'm thankful for it too. That's awesome, Richard. Absolutely awesome. We're going to have a regular guest with our friend Adam, Percolated Fish, one of the most fascinating friends that I have. So, like I said, it's our channel. Let's do something together. Love you guys. Oh, Joanna says, thank you for your channel and time you give, Yogi. Thank you all in the chat for being lovely. Much love to all. Much love to you, Joanna. Joanna, thank you again so much. That's such an awesome gift. I wish I could tell you. I hope you know. I hope I can convey how much that meant to me. Super Champ says it's been late. It is a little bit late, but it was worth it. Super Champ, thank you, my friend. Thank you for helping me persevere earlier in the live stream when it was a little difficult. You, my friend, are a good friend. Yep, Stephen says worth it. Mint says take care, Yogi. You're amazing and beautiful human. Thank you for that. Super chat says all. All right, I gotta go.